welcome back to the fourth and final video in this series where I'm building a mini shed to store my lawnmower and other outdoor lawn equipment. In this video, I'm going to be installing the siding and trim to make it look nice as well as the door. Sorry for this horrid camera angle, but here I'm putting together the frame of the door and I'm using a 2x4 on the right side where the hinges will go and then 2x2s for the rest of the frame. I use screws and nails to hold it together, but just until I can add a sheet of plywood, which will make it a lot more structurally sound. And to get that piece of plywood, I used one solid piece on the front and then cut out the rough shape of the door because I'm going to clean all that up later. With the basic door built and installed with some temporary hinges, I started trimming out the front of the shed, and I'm just using fence pickets to do this. I'm using 8-foot pickets for this project so I could side the entire length of the shed without any seams. When I was ordering supplies, I almost got 6-foot pickets, so if you're thinking about doing something like this, be sure to keep that in mind. Alright, so here's a time lapse of me putting on the siding, so there's no audio for me to play with any cool nail gun sounds or anything like that. So this is just some filler, and okay, now we're done. With the shed sided, I moved back to the door and tacked a thin frame around the perimeter, and that's mainly for aesthetics because I don't want the end grain of the pickets showing through the door when it's open. I then put siding on the door the same way as the shed, which was pretty straightforward with just a few angled pieces to account for. I then installed the final trim pieces where the hinges are going to go, and I'm using 3 black fence gate hinges, each rated for about 50 pounds, so they should be plenty strong enough to hold this door over time. I then installed the rest of the trim on the front of the shed and the door along with a gate latch, and this project is complete. I need to add some more gravel to the front so I can more easily roll my mower in and out, and I also want to apply a sealer at some point. I plan on adding some hooks along the inside to hold my lawn tools and such, and probably need to figure out a way for that latch to not close behind me. I am really thrilled with the way that this shed turned out, and I think that there's a market for something like this for people to try to stay within their HOA guidelines, so I'm going to work on some build plans, and when I get them done, I'll post them in the description. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments so I can tell you when they're done. Thanks so much for following along on this project. It was a lot of fun to build, and it's given me a lot more space in the garage.